Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our English class with me, myself, Miss Lina. Well, this time I would like to watch this short video for a moment. Please pay attention to the video. Well, why did he fall down, this man? You can see here, the floor was wet. The laptop fell down. And why did he fall down? Yes, because he didn't pay attention to the notice here. Yeah. This writing or this symbol we call as notice or cautions. So this time I'd like to discuss about notice, cautions, and warning. Okay, well, notice, cautions, and warning. Caution, warning are other forms of notice. So these three kinds are the same. Notice, caution, warning. They are the same kinds of notice. I'd like to discuss it one by one for you. Well, notice. What is notice? Notice is a text that contains a brief or simple information in the form of writing or symbols or pictures to give instructions or warnings to the public, usually in the form of signs. This is what notice is. Now, I'd like to show you the example of notice. Look at this. Yes, this one. Notice, keep this door closed. This is the example of notice. So this belongs to instructions. We have to close the door all the times. Well, what is the purpose of writing notice? Yeah, to give directions and to remind people to be careful. These are the purpose of notice. Go on. Caution. Caution. What is caution? Caution is a text that contains information in the form of a warning that is shown to many people. And if this caution is ignored by people, the consequences are not fatal. This is the definitions of cautions. So the consequences of cautions are not fatal. Now I'd like to show you the example of cautions. Yeah, this one. Cautions, wet floor. So if you don't pay attention to these cautions, the consequences are not fatal. Maybe you only fall down, but not cause a death if you ignore these cautions. Go on to the next. I would like to discuss the purpose of cautions. First, cautions is written to warn people to do or not do something. Second one, caution is written to inform something. So this is about warning people to do something or not do something. And remember, the consequences of cautions, if it's ignored, are not fatal. Next, I'd like to discuss warning. What is the definitions of warning? Look at this. Warning is a text that contains information in the form of a warning that is shown to many people, and it's usually about dangerous things or dangerous. And if this warning is ignored, the consequences are fatal. The consequences can be fatal. The consequences can be death. So you have to pay full attention if you found or you find somewhere warning text. Actually, warning and notice are similar. They are a bit different. The difference is about the consequences. Well, what is the purpose of writing to warning? First, to give warning that it's dangerous, very dangerous. Second one, the purpose of warning is to give directions by giving a warning. Well, I'd like to show you an example of warning. Yeah, this warning, shark-sighted, keep out. So this means if you keep swimming in this beach, at this beach, it can cause death because there is shark at the sea, at the beach. Okay, you have to keep out. Do not swim on the beach. Okay, go on. I'd like to discuss with you some kinds of notice. Pay attention to this notice. You can see this picture. 2 hands and a water drop. And it is written here, let's maintain hygiene, wash hands before and after eating. I'd like to ask you a question from this notice. What is the notice about? I give you some choices. In order to keep clean, an invitation to cleanse one's hands, an appeal to maintain hygiene, or an appeal to have a clean environment. What is the correct answer? What is this notice about? Yeah, you are right. An invitation to clean one's hands. Go on, let's discuss another kinds of notice. Warning, road construction is under progress. You can see this picture. This means there is constructions. Well, I give you one question. Who is the warning addressed to? Can you guess? I give you some choices. The government, the construction workers, the construction company, or all road users. What is the best answer for this question? Absolutely right. All road users. This is the clue. Roads constructions. Road. Okay, go on. Last question. Let's discuss one question from a notice. Look at these pictures of toilet. Don't use this toilet. It's being repaired. Thank you. Well, what should we do after reading the notice? If you read this notice, what should you do? This is the question. I give you some choices. Keep the toilet clean, or help repair the toilet, or use the toilet on purpose, or use another toilet. Yeah, you are right. Use another toilet. The clue, do not use this toilet. Okay, good. Very good. Well, I'd like to make the conclusions of today's meeting with you. Today we have discussed about notice. Notice is a text that contains a brief simple information in the form of writing or symbols or pictures to give instructions or warning to the public, usually in the forms of signs. There are two other forms of notice, caution and warning. Caution is a text that contains information in the form of warning that is shown to many people. And if it's ignored, the consequences are not viral. The last, warning, is a text that contains information in the form of a warning that it is shown to many people, and it's usually about dangerous things or dangerous. And if it's ignored, the consequences can be viral. Well, guys, that's all to our discussion this time, this chance. I hope this can be useful for you. It can be helpful for you to study at home. Please keep stay at home. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.